LVC, the network. Television redefined. High-quality content for high-quality viewers.
When I tell you I've been waiting for this day for a long time, Toomp. So allow me to kind of go back a little bit.
Okay.
So like early 2000s, I came to ATL, and knowingly the first track that I absorbed that you created, that I was like, yo, this is soul and trap. It was the Diamond in the Back Ludacris joint.
2 miles an hour.
Man, that too.
Okay.
No, the Diamond joint. I think it was on the Chicken and Beer album with the Curtis Mayfield song. Gangsta white and the TV's in the back.
Okay, because on 2 miles an hour, I use a Curtis Mayfield sample too.
You did
Matter
too,
of fact, that's
exactly.
going to be on a new iPhone commercial.
Shut up.
Yeah, a whole nother joint.
Yeah. So I absorbed
to
that,
that.
and I was like, okay, this guy's greatness.
Yeah, that soul and that Southern soul. That's what it is, man.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Who is DJ Toomp?
Who's DJ Toomp? Well, government Aldrin Davis, named after the astronaut Buzz Aldrin. Because when I came out of the womb, my mom was trying to think of my dad, his name was Alfonso. So he was like, all right, we're not gonna have a junior, but I want an AL in his name. So just so happened, I guess they so-called landed on the moon, and when that was on TV, she was like, Aldrin is a great first name, even though that's his last name. So boom, so she chose that as my first name, Aldrin Davis. So Toomp is the nickname my sister gave me when I was about 3, and I'm stuck with it, man.
Stuck with it.
Yeah.
What was that beat, song, or lyric that made you fall in love with hip hop?
The beat, song, and lyric,
Either of the three.
Man, believe it or not, You think, some people will think Jay-Z ain't no woman like the one I got, but the super rapping. Yeah, about the Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5, and that was in 1981.
Yep.
Yeah, Enjoy Records, Shout out to Sylvia Robinson,
Big
creator of hip hop, definitely. Yeah. And Melly Mel, out of that whole group, I mean, Grandmaster Flash and Furious 5 was dope, but Melly Mel, his voice stuck out boldly, man, to the point where I thought I wanted to be a rapper at one time, listening to Melly Mel. And that last verse, Matter of fact, he had a famous verse from the song The Message, child is born with no state of mind, blind to the ways of mankind. But he used that same verse in super rapping too at the end. See, a lot of people don't know, but that verse was just so solid, he had to do it again because he didn't think they heard it on the first one. So super rapping, yeah, that was my, sha-na-na, that was like when I fell in love with hip hop, man. And next thing you know, Rapper's Delight, Sugar Hill Gang, all that. Just Sugar Hill Records, period. Sugar Hill and Enjoy, yeah.
What does hip hop mean to you, Toomp?
Hip hop, I would say that's we already know, being hip is the thing, we the meaning of cool, we set the tones and the trends. So hip and hop, that just that's just to put those words together, hip with a little hop, it's a certain walk, a certain swag, certain way that you wear your clothes. Certain way that, certain slang we may have. Of course, and then you put it all under the umbrella of, graffiti, rapping, DJing, just all that art, man. And that's, just brought up from the projects, straight from the basement, hip hop, it was just, that's it. Let me think of that.
How do you feel about the new generation of hip hop?
The new generation of hip hop?
Yeah.
I love the new generation that respects hip hop. You got some of the new generation who feel that they're not hip hop. Like, if you're cleaning up a building, you could, be a custodian or a janitor or whatever. But, if you're doing anything under this umbrella that I said, like graffiti, dancing, DJing, or rapping, that's hip hop. But some people feel that, you got some of the generation who feel that their music can't be identified as hip hop. But everything, if you're rapping, if you're doing anything under that umbrella, that's hip hop, period.
Right.
So you can't run from it. So, and I love what I'm hearing from some of the new cats. You know? Yeah. But like I say, I'm trying to get all the youngest to embrace that hip hop though. Some of them don't want to embrace it. I'm like, hey, that's what it is. It's not gonna change. You're not gonna change it.
What do you think the game is missing today?
The game is missing. I would say one of the main things the game is missing is artist development. And when I speak of development, that's like, you know, reaching back. You know, a lot of kids, especially in the music business, don't really take time and see who the greats were. Athletes do it. You know, a lot of people in R&B, you know, you can ask R&B artists, hey, who inspired you? And they may name somebody who they wasn't even old enough to see, you know, alive. You may hear a 12-year-old guy say, I was inspired by Marvin Gaye. You know what I mean? But in hip hop, it's very rare that you hear that. And I'm trying to get more of them to really do their history and understand, you know, and study the greats. And that way you can be greater and you can pass that on. But if you haven't really studied anything, what can you really pass on besides what you've done?
Correct.
You know, and it might just be a minimum amount, not to take anything from any, you know, person. But yeah, I think a lot of in the hip hop, the new generation should really do more history, you know, just to see where it come from and just really understand the origins of it. And I'm a walking version of that. That's why every interview you're gonna hear me speak of the greats, you know, people who really played a part on laying these bricks out here for us, man, to walk on.
History is everything, Toomp.
It's everything.
And as much as society wants us to dismiss history and certain parts of history, you cannot move forward successfully without knowing your history in anything.
That's in anything, yeah. Thank you, man. I'm glad you get it.
Hey,
I'm glad
brother,
it ain't just me, you know
No,
what I
it
mean?
ain't just you, bro.
Yeah.
You are not alone with that
man.
one. Do you think the South will ever lose its grip on hip hop?
Whew. Listen, I don't think we will. As long as I'm living.
I can
and
dig
you got other,
Damn
other
right.
cats who real still out here, you know, pushing that narrative
Yep.
and just pushing the culture itself, you know. That's why even by the time I don't know when that'll be, when I finally get tired of creating music or whatnot, I definitely would love to carve out a whole nother type of career to where I'm, you know, like nurturing the new up and coming hip hop artists, you know, producers slash writers, everything under the umbrella once again. So, but I think we're gonna have it for a while because there's always something new. There's always some new producers. It's like my man who just left, and it's a whole gang of new artists and producers. It's like we just like an incubator. They're just coming out every year or every other year. It's gonna be somebody else, you know. And that's the beauty, and that's really why we've had the game on lock for so long. You know, a lot of people don't want to accept it, but after you say 20-something years, it's like, well, you can't deny that now.
A lot, bro. It's undeniable.
We got it on lock.
Yes, sir.
And it's been down here. I mean, that whole vibe, even before hip hop came about, you know, Atlanta always, just Georgia alone, always had a strong hold in the music business. Gladys Knight and Pip, Gene Carn, Hamilton Bohannon, you know, Cameo, SOS Band. We can go on and on. But we didn't have the record labels here for everybody to really just go and get signed overnight or whatnot. So, but as far as the whole music thing and a lot of cats like myself, I come from, my dad was in the group, the MVPs, so he was the lead singer. So I've been singing for a while, but you know, I just don't really incorporate that in my
You can
line
sing,
of work.
too.
Oh, I can sing very well.
Shut
Yeah,
up.
I'm dope. Yeah, when I feel like it, I get down.
Bro.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, before hip hop, that's what I was doing, singing. You know?
Won't you put the singing joint on, son?
I wouldn't get on stage with it. I do it in the bedroom or the bathroom, but nah, I ain't gonna go on stage with it.
I ain't gonna go on stage with it, huh?
I write something, but nah, I ain't gonna sing it.
So you won't do like a Tank, go on stage and sing and take the shirt
Oh
off?
man, yeah, I gotta get my body chopped up. I gotta chop up a little bit more to do the Tank action.
Hey, that's
But you know what I would say? I won't sit here and say never, man. You never know. You know what I mean? I think I would do an R&B album before I do a hip hop album.
Run it.
It might be an R&B album with hip hop beats, of course. You know what I
Run
mean?
it. I'm here for it all.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's an interesting fun fact.
Yeah.
How did you and Tip get connected?
The way I connected with Tip, rest in peace to my homeboy Alejandro Morgan. Grew up, been knowing him since fourth grade. And we just grew up in the neighborhood together. And I say around 1997, he kept speaking of his little cousin that rap. You know, everybody got their story about a relative who rap or do whatever, you know. And finally, I took him seriously, and we met up at the crib, and he brought me a cassette. I played it in my little 300ZX, and once I heard shit, like 3 or 4 records from Tip. It was like, oh my God, I got to get them. So once I took them and let them understand, you know, how, you know, music is really produced. Because he'd been in the studio previously with a few other cats who just threw beats at him. But when I got with him, I had a chance to develop them and give him the history of hip hop, you know. And luckily from him being, you know, halfway Atlanta and New York, he was familiar with a few things that I brought up, which helped make the job, make the situation a lot easier. And man, once we saw we had that chemistry, dude, we just went in a few local studios, knocked out a few records, and got the attention from some major labels. And next thing you know, we was on LaFace, then left LaFace, then Atlantic. The career just took off, you know.
Did you do Dope Boys in the Trap?
Yeah, Dope Boys in the Trap.
Shut up.
Yeah, that was because I was executive producer on the first 2 albums.
Okay.
So that was I'm Serious and Trap Music. So Dope Boys in the Trap, yeah, that was the big single off the first album, I'm Serious. Yeah.
Toomp, here's a fun fact. Bro, I used to spin the hell out of that song in Augusta,
Dope
Georgia.
Boys in the Trap. Oh,
they
yeah,
used to lose it down there with that track.
And see, that was crazy because that song is like, even though, you know, LaFace Records and Arista was nationwide, but that song just took over the Southeast super strong.
Yes,
finally it made its way to Cali. I say by the second album we hit the West Coast, but yeah, that was a real Southern-based album, man, that did numbers, you know.
Fire.
Yeah.
So here's a question I got that a lot of people probably want to ask, and they want this answer.
Well, yeah.
Is it possible we can get another T.I. album with all tracks produced by Toomp from 1 to 20 or whatever number that is?
That is, we're working on that as we speak, brother.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, because you know he got to kill the king. You know, that's the name, the title of the last album. So we've been sitting around, you know, chopping up a few ideas. We recently, I think last summer, we knocked out about 9 joints. A lot of hooks and verses, but we still haven't put the whole thing together. But the chemistry is there. It's fire, bro.
Yeah, I bet you.
Yeah, it's fire.
Bro.
So yeah, now I just saw him at this situation, you know, rest in peace to my boy Clay.
Yeah.
And we talked for a minute, and I said, hey man, you know, we got to give these people what they want. They putting that request in, so
the people want it to.
They want it, yeah. I'm hearing it from all over. It ain't just a Southern thing either.
And it ain't right unless y'all two doing it now.
Right.
It's cool without you, but with you, shit.
Yeah. People say we did that, you know, the other Snoop and Dr. Dre. That chemistry is definitely there.
The Manny Cash Money, like
y'all are that. Cash Money, yeah.
Y'all are that, bro.
So no, it's in the works.
Yeah, good deal.
Coming soon.
Good deal. How did you get the opportunity to work with Kanye? How did that come about?
With Kanye, well, Kanye came in on the Trap Music album. He had like 3 songs on Trap Music. So yeah, that's when I first met him, and he was really still more of a producer then. And he was letting us hear his music when we were at Patchwork, you know, trying to get our critique on, you know, some of his raps or whatnot, and everybody gave him thumbs up, like, yo, that shit is hot, dude, like, keep it up. So so that was a cool bonding moment, cause we hung, I think he was down here for like 2 weeks. So we took him around the city to a few strip clubs and just let him feel the whole, you know, vibe of the city. And it was time for his new album. He decided to come down here and get with me, yours truly, you know, and we started here at my studio, then we went to Doppler, and we ended in New York. Yeah, so yeah, I ended up getting, well, I recorded 4 songs, but 3 ended up making the album.
And this was a graduation album,
Yeah,
right?
Graduation,
Yeah,
yes,
man.
sir. Yeah, Can't Tell Me Nothing, Good Life, and Big Brother. Yeah.
All classics.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Yeah, so yeah, it was one of the best, most fun projects I've had so far. Yeah.
What motivates you to keep going?
Let's see, what motivates me to keep going, man? Shoot. Fans, cats like yourself, you know, my daughter. Like I said, man, she's what, 15, won like 3 beauty pageants, straight A's. She could sing also. So, so from her being into it, the whole thing, she pay attention to a lot of things I do, you know. She watch me, and that's what keeps me going. So I'm like, hey, if I slow down, I think I don't want her to slow down. So I got to keep it moving, man. So,
Gotta keep it moving.
Definitely the youngins around me, for sure. Nephews, nieces, fam, you know. Yeah.
For those who may not know, which may be a few, you're one of the best turntablists on
What
the
you know
globe,
about
bro.
that? Yeah.
So if you had to pick, Techniques or New Marks?
Techniques. 1200 to be exact.
Come on.
Mark II.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Mixer-wise, Vestax or Pioneer 909?
Whew,
Yeah, boy.
You good. Okay, now the Vestax was on the game for a minute, but right now, yes, the Pioneer S9. Yeah, man, like so many bells and whistles.
Yep.
You got the sampler, the effects, the crossfader is like
Yep.
no other. Super butter. I can do all my tricks on it. Yeah, I still got battle routines too, man. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a lot of DJs who just, press buttons and, fist pump and jump under there. No, I'm a turntablist, what I mean? I rock out, so.
That's all right, bro.
I've been gigging a lot lately too, so
Yeah.
it's fun, man. DJing, that's always gonna be in my blood for sure.
So you DJing parties?
Yeah, I'm doing parties, a lot of
Ooh.
private events, yeah.
Nice. I would love to hear a Toomp party.
Yeah, mostly, I'd say 35 and up. I play a few young records that's on the charts and whatnot, but mostly my playlist is really like, 70s to early 2000s, like early 2000s, late 90s, 70s to the 90s.
Yes, sir.
Mostly. Yeah.
As you know, Toomp, hip hop turns 50 this year, right?
Yes.
And Moet Hennessy, is behind a huge campaign to honor the anniversary
Oh, it's beautiful.
of
Okay.
hip hop. What do you think that means to the culture?
That means we haven't been ignored. I think about how many rappers that mention Hennessy in their songs, not to mention Moet.
Correct.
Popping bottles and all that. I mean, you're still gonna hear that. Just Hennessy, Moet, period. That's good to be acknowledged, and the fact that they're paying homage back, to hip hop.
Yep.
And we've kept so much alive as far as our, the hip hop culture. From, like you say, from alcohol to a long list of things. So just to see that they acknowledge that and embracing our culture, man, that's beautiful. I love that. I love that.
Can you give me top 5 Toomp tracks?
Top 5 Toomp tracks.
Top 5, baby.
Let me see, the top 5. Whoa, why 5? All right, let me see. I'll give it 5. Shake It, MC Shy D.
Okay.
That was 1988. T.I., What You Know About That. T.I., You Don't Know Me.
Come on.
Kanye, Can't Tell Me Nothing.
Okay.
Jay-Z, Say Hello to the Bad Guy. Yeah.
Okay. It's a wide range there.
Yeah.
We're going to toast to that.
That's a mean little playlist, huh?
That's a mean little playlist. So, you know what's crazy? My top 5 Toomp tracks are, because I listen to tracks to put me in a certain mood. Yes, sir. I Got Money, Tip and Jeezy.
Yeah. That's why I was like, why 5?
Yeah. The Diamond in the Back joint. That is a great feel.
Thank you.
Big Brother. For sure.
Okay.
Definitely You Don't Know Me.
You Don't Know Me, yeah.
My final.
Let me see what you gonna name.
We're going to do 2 miles an hour.
2 miles an hour, Ludacris.
Yeah, we're going to do that one.
Nice.
We're going to do that one because all of those put me in a certain place.
Okay.
And I like how you slowed that sample down. And
oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, is it safe to say that you are the originator of trap music in regards to production?
People try to put that jacket on,
Why
put
not?
that cape on my back, I'll wear it, but it's very rare that you'll hear me claim that. I would wear that cape.
Yep.
I wear that jacket, but that's not nothing I would really just say. I just accept it when people give it to me.
Okay. Okay.
But I could definitely say I play a major part in something that was really just it was a feel, and it was a feel that we had. Didn't know that it would turn into a genre. The hi-hat rolls, the 808 sounds and whatnot. And, shout out to the other producers, Manny Fresh, Drummer Boy, long list of others who is using our sounds, Shawty Red. But yeah, when people give me that title, I take it and run with it, I'm going to accept it, I accept it.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, but it's very rare that you'll hear me just say that.
I can dig it.
Yeah.
I can dig that. So let's give a toast to you, Toomp,
Thank
for
you.
the legendary sound that you have issued into the earth.
Yes, sir.
Your humble spirit, your contributions,
Okay.
the lives you've changed. You know what I mean? The people
sir.
you've inspired, like myself.
All
and
right.
other DJs.
Thank you, brother.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
This is Hip Hop 50 right here.
All right.
This
Take
is-
my shades off.
Take, take it off,
Look
Bob.
man in the eye.
The best is yet to come. Cheers, Toomp.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.